and we officially welcome you onto the focus of the day on politics and business at television. Tonight, our focus is on the deeply troubling development, the escalating wave of insecurity sweeping across Nigeria's north central region, once celebrated as the nation's food basket and a shining example of peaceful coexistence among diverse ethnic and religious groups. The zone is now increasingly defined by violent attacks, kidnappings, communal unrest, and organized banditry. From Benue to Plateau, Niger to parts of Kogi and Nasarawa, communities are living under the shadow of fear. Farmers are hesitant to return to their fields, travelers move with anxiety, and families are left counting losses after repeated attacks. The growing frequency of these incidents is raising serious concerns about safety, stability, and the long term implications for food security and national unity. What is driving this surge? Are security strategies failing? Or are deeper socio-economic and political factors at play? To unpack this disturbing trend and explore possible solutions, I'll be joined by a security expert shortly. Do stay tuned. All right, joining us on the focus today is a security consultant. I must say his name is Jonathan Isaac. Nice to have you on P&B television.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me in your program.
All right, thank you so much. Of course, we are talking about the issue of insecurity in North Central Nigeria. So let me, begin by asking you what factors have actually contributed to the recent surge of insecurity in the North Central region of Nigeria.
Okay, thank you so much. We are already approaching an election year, and this very year, 2026, also is a dominant factor or dominant year for most of our political gladiators. Talking about the North Central region, you would agree with me that over the years, there have been issues of farmers' headers clashes that we have seen and have also been politicized. Recently, we have seen the resurgence of insurgency in the North Central region, mainly because of the Fulani headers invasion in some of those areas. The Otupo, Akpa, Otobi area, including the Okwakwazis, and sometimes in Obadibo area, we have seen most of these attacks. And the theater ground has been over the years is the Agatu area that have been dominated with some of those incidents.
Yeah.
Taking it across the North Central as is, you agree with me that Kogi State also have been the theater of war, including that of Kaduna as is. Although in the area of the Kaduna, like we have experienced over the years, the Kaduna Abuja road attack has reduced drastically, and because of some of the effort of some individuals. And also, let me take this opportunity to commend the effort of His Excellency, the Minister of State for Defense, His Excellency Dr. Bello Matawale, for his efforts, deploying some cameras and drone systems and ensuring that the manpower in those houses are reduced, is properly positioned to reduce insecurity. Also, if you notice the within the Abuja terrain, because also when we talk about the North Central, the Federal Capital Territory is positioned in the North Central.
Yes.
If you notice, recently the attacks of the Kuje prison and also the kidnap of students from the Federal Capital Territory, the seat of power, where diplomats are residing, that is embarrassing the nation, are reduced drastically. It's unfortunate that the governors in most of the states are playing politics with the life of their citizens. Kogi states have reduced, except for the resurgence of some of those kidnapping within the state now. Otherwise, the massive um, destructions of properties and lives, human lives in those areas have reduced. But in Benue State, for some reasons, the, the governor continued to play politics with the lives of the people and not giving to the people the dividends of democracy. In Plateau State, where there's almost every day killings and activities of kidnappers in that road have also reduced. We're not hearing that again because I think for obvious reasons, the governor have taken measure to, negotiate with the needs of the people. Unfortunately, the governors in most of the states are not negotiating with the needs of the people. Like we
No,
have in
are you when you say negotiate, are you advocating for negotiation with these non-state actors? You want state governors to start negotiating with those with these terrorists, or what are you really insinuating?
when you say negotiation, negotiation comes in different forms. But in answering your question, who are the terrorists and who are the people? The people are the bandits, and the bandits are the people. Let me break it down by further saying that in every community, there are people that are disgruntled with the upward cheats from government. In every community, there's a bandit. In every community, there are people. And so when you negotiate with the needs of the people, you are indirectly negotiating with the bandit. For instance, today, if you hear that the bag of rice is not to be sold at the rate of 6,500 naira, you have negotiated with the need of the people. If fuel are not to be sold at the rate of 85 naira or 125 naira, you have negotiated with the need of the people. When the roads are properly constructed and tied in the local communities, where there are no bad roads, you will not going to see bandits stopping and then kidnapping people on the highway. When you see that the police officers are taking their patrols and highway patrols are now introduced, you are going to reduce issues of insecurity in our highways. And so when you say negotiate with bandits, and I wonder who are the bandits and who are the people. It's just like courtesy. Courtesy that is practiced in the local communities. They don't have their meetings in the area. They go to the bush to have their meetings. And most times when they attack each other, they leave the communities to go for hideout. And other times when the issues are subsided, they return back again to plan other attacks. This is just another factor of banditry. The bandits live within the community, the people knows them, and they also know the people.
All right.
So when we say we negotiate with bandits or negotiate with the needs of the people, we are indirectly negotiating with the citizens because the citizens are the bandits. It's just some quarters of the citizens that have taken their arms, and all because they are disgruntled. So when we want to negotiate, we will not wait until the people are kidnapped from their communities and will take ransom to them in the bush. We will negotiate with them right while they are with us, ensuring that there's employment, ensuring that there is proper corporate measures to tackle the issues of insecurity in our local communities, ensuring that there's a relative peace in our society.
All right.
And political actors should know that when you negotiate with the needs of the people, you are indirectly negotiating with the bandits.
All right.
That is the situation I'm going to put it. The bandits are the people, and the people are the bandits.
Okay. But before we let you go on this, segment, comrade Jonathan, what long-term, solutions beyond military intervention? Because most of the time, as far as Nigerians are concerned, military intervention appears to be like the solution. So beyond military intervention, what other, long-term solutions do you think can, of course, reduce to minimum what is happening in the north central Nigeria in terms of insecurity?
Yes. I will start from the federal government. Mr. President, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, should know that beyond the paper reviews of renewed hope, tell ourselves the truth. If the renewed hope agenda of His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is renewing the hope of the common masses, now bringing this back to the state governors in the last administration of His Excellency late President Muhammadu Buhari continue to give bailout funds to governors in the various states. How well are those bailout funds utilized to meeting up the aspirations and the yearnings of the common Nigerian? Now, the president came on board with the assurance of renewed hope, and we heard that with the removal of the subsidy, fuel subsidy, there were funds that were given to states to cushion the effect of the removal of fuel subsidy. How many state governors have utilized those funds to meeting up or to cushion up some of this hardship that is brought on the ordinary Nigerian? So, we are going to start with talking about the corrupt systems in our political and systemic institutions. We must look at those things as to looking at long-term effects. When we talk about long-term effects, we will talk about how effective are the governors in the state utilizing the federal allocations and the internal generated revenues in their state. We are going to talk about the corruption in our systems. So until you and I begin to see the true dividends of democracy in our various communities, then we'll begin to believe in the system. That is one of the long-term effects. Why again we are talking about? Because the military aspect is a kinetic approach.
Yeah.
We are talking about the non-kinetic approach in this instance. Understanding your question to me is that the non-kinetic approach is that we should enjoy the true dividends of democracy. Why we are experiencing coup d'etats within the West African region today is because of bad leadership. There's nowhere you are going to have good leadership that you want to think about evil. Like I get to give example of countries like Iceland. If you travel to Iceland, you will see that there's almost 0% of crime in that country. Why? Because the government took it upon themselves to provide and give to the people the true dividends of what leadership is all about. And so until we begin to enjoy the true dividends of democracy, we cannot talk about reduction in crime. Because until today, there are still crimes in local communities. Example, some persons are still stealing people's goods. Some persons are still taking people and raping people's wives. Some persons are still, stealing people's cows. That is what we call rustling. Why are all these things coming? People are still going to farms to go and harvest their crops. Why are all these things happening in local communities? Why this is happening, we'll talk about the larger people. Or people that are taking what? Taking arms and standing on the roads to kidnap people. All of this is starting from communities. When we provide good governance and reduce the cost of governance, we will enjoy relative peace in our community.
All right.
So when we talk about long-term people, we should advise government to provide to the people and give to the people the true dividends of democracy. Not until that, we cannot have any long-term effect when we continue to provide kinetic approach with U.S. intervention, destroying our properties and destroying over time. We are going to take almost billions to renew and begin to rebuild areas that are bombs and airstrikes.
All right.
But when we use what we have at our disposal to provide true dividends of democracy, to give to the people what belongs to the people, it will cost us cheaper than what we are going to have when we go around spending billions to procure, military warfare in ensuring that we have a better Nigeria. So to have a better Nigeria, let's give to the people what belongs to the people.
All right. Thank you very, very much, Comrade Jonathan Isaac, for your insights this afternoon on the program. We really appreciate you.
Thank you for having me on your program.
All right. And that has been the show today. Of course, I've been joined by Comrade Jonathan Isaac, a security consultant. And this is where we draw the curtain on the program this afternoon. Thanks for watching.